Have you ever wished your designs could change at the flip of a switch? No more tedious updates or manual changes? What if I told you that with just a few clicks in Figma, your designs could evolve in real time, adapting to multiple modes, themes, and screens with the power of variables? Hi, this is Tulsi Nakum from KnowHow Academy. So today we'll cover Introduction to Variables in Figma, then step-by-step guide to creating and organizing color variables. We'll also learn how to define and implement design tokens like colors, spacing, and corner radius, and how to set up and apply light and dark modes using variables. We'll also streamline the workflow, organizing variables for easy updates. So let's start with what are variables and why do they matter? A variable is essentially a placeholder for a value that can change, allowing you to easily manage and update your designs. Variables in Figma are incredibly useful because they allow you to store reusable values such as colors, spacing, text, and numbers that can be applied to multiple elements across your designs. Unlike styles, which are static, variables have the ability to dynamically adapt based on context. For example, if you're working on a design that needs to switch between light and dark modes, variables allow you to do this instantly by simply updating a few key values. So let's move on to how to create color variables. Here's a step-by-step breakdown of how to set up color variables in Figma. So first, open the variables panel. Deselect everything on your canvas. You can do it by simply clicking anywhere in your canvas. And open the local variables panel on the right sidebar. Now, click on the Open Variables button to bring up the full panel. As you can see here, there is an icon in front of local variables where you can click and see the full panel. This is where all the variables you have created will be stored. Now create your first color variable. So in this variable panel, click Create Variable. A drop-down menu will appear. As you can see, there are 4 options like color, number, string, boolean. And select color from the options. Name your variables based on its use. Now let's name this variable. You can name it according to your needs. For example, I'll name it as primary color. You can also change the value of the color, as in you can choose any color that you want to set it as primary color. Let's say I've chosen green. Choose the color by either typing in a hex code or using the custom color picker to select your preferred shade. You can also edit variable, you can change its name, or you can also provide the description. For example, it's a primary color, so I can give a short description like I'm going to use it in my app or in my other website UI. And like this, we'll create more color variables. Once you have created several color variables, for example, primary, secondary, and accent colors, group them for better organization. Right-click on one of the variables and select New Group with Selection and give it a meaningful name. For example, App UI Color or any brand colors, or you can also use it for example neutral shades. It's on you. By now, you have set up your first color variables. So let's move on to organizing these colors into collection. So let's move on to defining design tokens. First, organize and label your variables. Now that you have a color palette, it's time to organize your variables into collections. This is where you will define your design tokens, which are variables used consistently across your design. Go to Collections drop-down in the Variables panel, click on these three dots and click on Create Collection and name it, let's say, Primitive. These are the foundational variables that represent the core elements of your design system. Now, let's create some text color tokens. For example, create a variable called text primary and assign it a color value from your neutral shades group. And select a color. You can also create additional tokens for secondary text, links, or error messages, or whatever your agenda is, or for whatever projects you are working on. Use semantic names like text primary or link color to make it clear what each color is used for. Now let's create spacing and radius variables. Spacing tokens can follow a consistent multiplier system like an 8-point grid, making spacing values predictable. For example, create variables like spacing none, 0, spacing small, 8, spacing medium, 16, and so on. You must have seen in many projects that or many tutorials that people use some presets or they already have some local variables available in their system. They just click on it and it automatically adjusts and have spacing. Similarly, corner radius tokens can use common values like radius rounded 4 pixel, radius sharp 0 pixel, or radius full 50%. Organize this into spacing and radius groups for easy access. Next, implementing light and dark modes using variables. Figma's power truly shines when you start using modes with variables. Modes allow you to easily switch between light and dark modes in your design. Open your tokens collection and create two additional columns, light mode and dark mode. For each mode, choose the appropriate colors applied to variables. So let's say light mode. For light mode, we'll choose these colors, background and text. So let's say light mode. And next the dark mode, we'll choose background and text. Now your design can instantly switch between these two modes with a click. Let's say you are working on a product page. Select the frame for the page and head to the change mode drop down. You will see options for light and dark modes. Simply select dark mode and watch as all the color variables update to fit the dark theme. This process ensures that all the variables connected to a specific mode update automatically, eliminating the need for repetitive manual adjustments. Now coming to the organizing and updating variables in our design system. Once you have set up your variables, it's crucial to maintain good organization, especially if your design system grows. Use semantic names for variables like primary button color, secondary button color, or text body color. This improves readability and ensures everyone on the team understands the purpose of each variable. Regularly check the collection names to keep them organized. For instance, primary for core values, tokens for reusable variables, and modes for different design themes. So we have covered today first introduction to variables, what variables are, and how they enhance flexibility in your design workflow. creating and organizing color variables, how to set up and structure your color variables in Figma. Next, defining and implementing design tokens, how to manage spacing, radius, and color tokens across your designs. Then, implementing light and dark modes, how to easily switch between light and dark themes using variables. And lastly, coming to then organizing and updating variables, how to keep your design system clean and easily updatable. By now, you should have a solid understanding of how to use variables to create a flexible dynamic design system in Figma. With the power of variables, you can design for multiple themes, account for different screen sizes, and make global updates with ease, ultimately improving your efficiency and design consistency. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as your source of IT knowledge. We always here to help you and navigate you to the tech world.